So today I thought I'd film a video about pursuing an acting career in your 20s, and this video is both for people who are already pursuing an acting career, because that can be quite an isolating experience, and also for the people who have an interest in getting into acting, because I think it can feel quite unattainable and quite confusing. And I thought I'd just give an honest insight of my own personal experiences and perspectives at this point in time, which obviously can change and everyone will have different perspectives, but I just thought it's nice sometimes to hear an honest point of view, because otherwise you can feel quite alone and confused by your experiences and think like, am I the only one feeling like this? So I thought I could share my own perspectives, things I've learned along the way, and that's what this video is. So the first thing I would like to share my opinion on and things I've learned about is having that second career as an actor, because we all need to be earning money, and sometimes acting doesn't provide you with enough money to live and go through life. So obviously for financial balance you need to be working other jobs as well and to fund you going to auditions. And I think lots of people have different perspectives on this, because acting is a very difficult career to pursue, and most of the time you're just auditioning by yourself, sending off self-tapes by yourself. So lots of people do say that if there's something else that you think you'd be happy doing as a career, to go do that. So that's a perspective that people put out there, like if there's something else that you'd like to do, then don't put yourself through the struggle of acting and auditions, because it is just a lot of rejection and it's very hard. But I think that also there is another side to that, because it is important that you will potentially be spending a lot of time working something else. So it's important that you feel fulfilled in your life. Another kind of big point that I forgot to say is that one of the kind of flexible jobs that I'm trying to develop myself over time is finding ways to monetize this YouTube channel, because there are adverts that display, I think, before my videos, and I could earn money from those if I had 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public hours of watch time. So I'm trying to get towards that. So if you could please subscribe and help me out, then I would really appreciate that. But I think it would just be such a useful, flexible way to earn money that I'm in control of. And there are just so many different opportunities that you can build a profile for yourself, train, meet other actors and creatives in the industry. So I just encourage yourself that I think a lot of people have ideas of things that they could do within the industry, but I would just encourage you, if you have an idea and some kind of project that you'd want to start, just to go for it if you can, because everything can create such big opportunities for yourself and you never know where something might lead you. Because I think something that stood out to me in going to classes that are auditioned to get in, where a lot of the people who do these courses and classes go on to have a professional career and work professionally, is that some people may decide that they don't want to continue pursuing this career and won't go on to work, but quite a big percentage of these people can go on to do some professional work. But these kind of high, big careers where you're working all the time is such a small percentage of people. Like the vast majority of people at some point will need to have another job. Like some people go win awards and then don't book another role for a year, and that's just sort of how it works. Some people book really big roles and then don't work for the next 10 years. So I think what's really encouraged me throughout my training is that teachers of these classes have said you are all capable of doing work professionally. Like people are capable of booking professional roles, but then that's different to having a guarantee that you'll be working constantly. And I think something that's also important to think about when you're finding that second career is that I was so focused on finding flexibility and finding work that you can leave and like pick which shifts you want, and then you can go and do auditions and fit in all the auditions. But sometimes your casting type's just really competitive, and sometimes the demand of you being in the room at short notice isn't all that much. From what I found, like at various different points in your career, I'm in the audition room now more than I ever have been, but sometimes I have quite a lot of notice for that, and I could have just booked time off in a job. So I feel like sometimes you just try to be flexible all the time, and people are like, oh, I won't go away on holiday, I won't commit to doing this because what if there's an audition that comes up? But I think you really have to also live and like don't sacrifice everything in your life to have an acting career, because people are like, there's so many people doing acting, so I must sacrifice everything and not have a life and not see my friends and constantly be working on my craft. There's people who are like, oh, I won't go out and see my friends, I'll just stay at home working on my monologues. And life is what you are portraying as an actor, so it's important that you experience life, and it's important just for your mental health. Like, obviously, if there's a self-tape that comes through and you think you need to work on that and do that to the best of your ability, then obviously sometimes I've had to be like, oh, sorry, I can't come and see you today and meet up and join my friends because I want to do the best work I can. But that doesn't mean that you should be sacrificing everything in life all the time. Also, I think it's so easy to be swayed by other people's opinions and experiences of what might be the best path, what's the correct path to get into acting, especially if these people have had success in their own careers. Sometimes you can be quite swayed by one person's point of view, but I think something that obviously it's important to keep in balance, and like, don't just disregard everyone else's experiences and advice. Like, it's important that we learn from other people in the industry who are ahead of us, but also I think it's important to trust your gut feeling and know that there are so many different routes into the industry. And also, I think not all training styles and techniques work for everyone, but I am personally so grateful that I've been to so many different classes, because now I have so many different notes on like Shakespeare, classical text analysis skills, and ways to emotionally connect, emotion recall exercises. All these different things can feed into my acting, and I can go back towards my notes and think, what's this exercise that I did in the class a few years ago? I'd like to do this on this thing that I'm doing. So I think it's really valuable to have skills and techniques sometimes that you can fall back on and use. Also, I think something that's really helped me is just meeting so many different actors along the way and getting them on Instagram, and then through that lots of different people share loads of different opportunities, and then through that you start to gain a better picture and idea of all the different pathways there are through the arts and all these different jobs that I wouldn't have otherwise known about. But I think something that's just as important as learning acting techniques and being directed to different acting resources and acting job opportunities from people who you meet is also just learning about how they function in the industry. Like, some people have really shaped my mindset and changed how I look at rejection and like not making it into the audition room, because sometimes I used to be like, well, I'm a really great fit for this, like I really align with this open casting, why am I not in the room for it? But I think some people just have a better mindset about that, and talking through that with people can help you process it a lot better and understand that that's not your path and it's not in your control why you're not in the audition rooms, but you've just got to trust that your path will happen for you. And you can also learn about how people are funding the acting life as well. Like, some people have 0-hour contracts in like warehouses, bars, cafes, and that works for them. Other people, they do all sorts of different things. Like, some people work in a trade, they're like an electrician or a plumber, and they are able to then just take the jobs that they can when they're not working. And some people do freelance stuff, remote jobs. Some people do like really wild and interesting things, and you can develop other skills and other careers that just add to yourself as a person and make you more interesting to a panel and an audition room as well, because some people do like headshot photography, or they do all sorts of different unique and interesting career pathways. And this point is for opportunities that are mainly just mostly for 21 and under, so the younger end of your 20s, is that there are so many different agencies that consider you via self-tape for representation that are specifically young actor agencies, which I think is a really interesting route into the industry. And like, if you can get into the industry as a child, I think it's also interesting for your craft. Like, I think if you're interested in pursuing this, like, just train as much as you can and just start, don't put it off. And I think there are so many great opportunities to get an agent when you're younger who will be more specialist in working with younger talent. But on the reverse of that, like, some people can be like, oh, I'm a bit old to pursue what I want to do, like I've had all of these years where I've not done that. But I think sometimes people can feel more settled in themselves if they then end up having success like in their 30s. Like, I think you're still growing as a person and you don't need to achieve all these things straight away, obviously. And I think you can think, oh, like, I've missed out on all these opportunities for mentoring and joining these younger agencies and working when you're younger. But some of the people who have helped me out in my journey have said that they don't really like just focus on helping younger people. Like, there are so many opportunities and people who will be willing to talk to you about the industry and help you regardless of age. Like, people have been like, even if there's someone who's like 70, 60, 50, 40, like, it doesn't matter. If you're wanting to learn about the industry, there will always be someone who will want to help you and guide you, and it's never too late. Like, there are people who are working in this industry who are in their 80s and 90s who just really love it. And the thing is, it's not like dance as a performance style where like there's a certain cut-off age where like your professional career might be over in a performance capacity. Like, you're portraying different characters of different ages, and there are so many different ages of people in the world, so there will be different roles for you. And sometimes as well, older actors get seen a lot more apparently for like auditions and tapes than the younger actors as well. Like, there are so many different young brunette girls like who are doing acting. It's a very, very oversaturated market, is that what you could call it? So I think as you get older, there will be less people in the industry, but also potentially at certain ages, apparently some people say there's less roles for people in their 30s, so I don't know about that. But like, there are certain ages where there are a lot of characters and a lot of castings and less actors, so you've got that to look forward to. Like, your life and your career and your prospects for doing acting are not over just because you're reaching towards the end of your 20s. So I just want to encourage everyone on that note not to panic. And also, something I found as well through connecting with other actors is whatever kind of issue or struggle you're going through with acting, whether it's struggling to balance a second career and find work alongside that, and whether it's the auditions are not coming very much and it's quite quiet, or any kind of experience that you're experiencing in the industry as an actor, there will be loads of other people experiencing the same thing. And just because you might not be connected to or speaking to that many actors, it doesn't mean that you're alone in your experience, because I think sometimes people can find it quite demotivating or quite difficult, or you might think like, am I the only one who's having this issue? But through connecting with other people, there's always people who are like, oh yeah, I experienced the same thing and I got through it, or like, I'm experiencing that right now. And if there's anyone else watching this who is pursuing acting and wants to share their experiences, advice, thoughts, or anyone who's looking to get into acting, or if anyone has any questions or anything you want to say, then please leave me a comment, because I love to hear from you. And thank you so much to everyone for watching. Thank you, bye!